I couldn't overcome not forgiving people for a number of reasons. It felt good to be associated with the feelings of not forgiving, the anger, the resentment, the judgment, the criticism, the putting people down, and other things that came with not forgiving people. That felt good when I acted that way, when I felt that people had behaved in ways where it disrespected me, or I felt injustice, or I had a judgment of they've done the wrong thing. So those emotions, to cope with pain within my soul and hurt, were justified for me to cope with dealing with not forgiving human beings. The alternatively to forgive human beings, I didn't have those tools. I didn't have acceptance as a tool. I didn't have identifying my own emotions and talking about those emotions to overcome things as a tool. I didn't have tools of getting through my emotional pain independently by understanding that pain and seeking ways to deal with it, like through reading books or watching podcasts or listening to something like this, or seeking help in professional services of support, or talking to friends about your feelings. I didn't know that they were tools that could support me when I was going through pain of not forgiving people. So because I didn't know that those tools existed, and this is the other thing, they do exist. There's other tools out there that are there to support when we're going through emotional hurt, disappointment and resentment towards other people. So because I didn't know those tools were there, and on top of that, I was previously, as every single human being is, conditioned and brought up in a way where I had a belief system from that experience of the way my parents brought me up, by the experiences that I went through at school, the experiences that I went through in prisons and drug addictions, and all these other experiences leading up to finding ways to overcome forgiving people. I was conditioned, and you're conditioned. So, monkey see, monkey do. But there is ways to better oneself, to get through pain of being hurt, pain of disappointment, pain of being lied to, or all pain where you just can't forgive people, and if you can't see that you're doing it, or more so, if you think it's normal to behave in ways where you're bitter, you're resentful, you act in ways towards those people where it's threatening or intimidating, or you're playing mind games, or you try to get them back for what they've done to you. Like, that's not a good way to live your life. we can be a lot freer in coping with people that have impacted us in our lives. And the way to do that is to acknowledge by doing things that are mean back to people, or emotionally you can't let go of the resentment. That is not a way to deal with it, because here's another thing. When you get over or get past one person doing the wrong thing by you, another person's going to come along and do the same, and you're going to feel the same way, and you're going to act the same way. And it keeps going. So how do we change that? And why is it important to hopefully see that the patterns of unforgiveness don't serve us? Well, anything that is coming back at other human beings because of what they've done to us, that does not serve us. Because in life, people are going to do things to us all the time. So we're always reactive to that, and we're always coming up with ways where it's their fault. They did it to us. They're responsible for our hurt. They're responsible for our emotional pain. They're responsible for affecting us in ways where we are really impacted by their behaviour. And as I said, you're going to have that all the way through your life. So many people are going to indirectly make you feel something, and you're going to either have to forgive or find the tools for forgiveness, or just go through life blaming everybody for the way you feel. Because that's the core of it. When you break down not forgiving people, the core of not forgiveness is an inability within us to overcome our own pain and our own disappointment and our own hurt, frustration, disrespect toward. That's us not being able to overcome us. So how do we overcome us? Well, talking about that pain and working at identifying what I'm saying could have some substance in it. You can start seeing that by communication of one's internal dialogue and identifying your feelings and talking about your thoughts about it really hurt me, I'm so disappointed, I'm so angry, I'm really annoyed at this person, I feel really disrespected. Using I messages in also if you do decide to communicate about your hurt and your pain, using these I messages has an enormous power within them to release this pain. Like we all know, after a good talk, we all feel better. After communicating what's happening to us within our soul, every single human being feels some kind of release. I've seen it so many times. And that release that we get by communicating our feelings in pain and hurt, which we direct to other people and blame them for, and a lot of the times we don't forgive anyone. We go through our whole life like it, and it ends up, crippling us, makes us bitter, resentful, untrustworthy to other people, skeptical, scared. You know, these emotions, you don't want to live in it. We want to be as free as a child to the day we die as much as possible. But we got to, I'd see this stuff within ourselves. We got to see, okay, why am I scared? Why am I upset all the time? Why don't I trust people? Why am I skeptical? It's because we can't deal with that pain from situations that hurt us, and then we don't forgive, and we keep doing it for years and years and years and years, until one day, when we get older, we start to see what we've done. But what I say, try and pick it up. Change before you have to. Jack Welch, the CEO of GE, that was a famous quote in his book. Change before we have to. That's the trick. Because you're going to change when you get old. Like it or lump it. You're going to get there unless you die before then. So if you can see the destructive effect not forgiving other people has on your life, you can then start getting to the core of your pain and your hurt, that this person that you blame had a part to play in that. They're not to blame for it. They've just triggered you. They've triggered your pain and they've triggered your hurt through your belief system. And it's only your belief system. We don't have to attach ourselves that much to ourselves and the way we feel. But it takes a lot of insight with what I just said then. It takes years of looking at yourself, and that's why I say that the quicker you can start looking at yourself and dealing with it by seeking help and reading books and podcasts and being open and seeking internal awareness, the better. So to overcome not forgiving and all the damage that comes with not forgiving, the emotional pain and the emotional turmoil and the emotional trap within us that happens from that, we got to talk about it, and we got to keep talking about it, and we got to read books on emotional pain, and we've got to read books on not forgiving people, and we've got to watch things and listen on, say, YouTube, plug in, look at that about not forgiving. Have a look at the damage it does to people over a period of time. And you've got to keep going, and you've got to keep doing it, and that has to be a number one priority. Like, our emotional self and well-being, mentally, everything. Our fitness, our diet, it is absolutely everything. And only you can do it. But if you disregard emotional pain and hurt, and a lot of it comes from other people, because we're all connected. But as I say, we can't blame those other people for it, because blaming other people for us, for the way we've been conditioned, and our feelings and our thoughts, we never grab the right tools that are good for us. We never find any other way. You just keep blaming. We never find another way. And I know it's hard because we've all been brought up to blame. As little kids, you put the TV, blame, politics, blame. It's all blame. And they don't even talk about forgiveness. They don't talk about hurt. They don't talk about fear. No one teaches you this shit. But I'm here to throw it out there because I know it works. Because the more freer we become within us, it's a better way to live. It's a great way to live. So forgiveness is massive, but one has to see that it's their emotional pain, the hurt, the frustration, the anger, the resentment, the bitterness. That's us. That's in us. That's the way we've been conditioned. That's our experiences. That's our beliefs. So if you want to hold on to that stuff, to blame other people for it, then those experiences that we've been through are of not much value. But if you want to change from all those experiences and have a look at yourself and have a look at your pain inside and what you need to deal with, which I say by talking and seeking books and being really motivated. You've got to be really motivated to overcome your pain. You have a good day, and if you, as I said, if you want to overcome that stuff, motivation. So have a good day. It's a better way to live when we're not blaming other people and we're forgiving, because we've forgiven ourselves by making the effort to fix ourselves. That's the best forgiveness. It's for ourselves. You take care and have a great day, and never give up. Look after yourself.